Hey, everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss grandma's meatballs, huh? Well, the holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that'll make you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever gift for grandma's recipes or just because, those smiles and tears, they'll just melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw, Picture This Photo Books at 646-798-0809, or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books. Bring your memories back to life. The whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you. And don't forget to check out the Mike Wagner Show on over 30 podcast platforms, including the MikeWagnerShow.com. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise at the MikeWagnerShow.com and also on Amazon.com at the Mike Wagner Show podcast, t-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, a lot more. Makes great gifts 24/7, 365. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mia Molson-Zia store for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles, also t-shirts, pop sockets, and a lot of cool merchandise. Make sure you check that out. And don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM as well as PayPal, and also the MikeWagnerShow.com, and make sure you support us today as well. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's an author, speaker, futurist, social architect, and an impact investor. He's also advisor and conservationist and spent 27 years as a CEO and a serial entrepreneur. He's also self-described Earth Conqueror and turning an Earth Keeper. We're going to find out about that. He's the CEO of Renaissance Capital and made this excellent journey from Santa Barbara over to Peru. He's committed to helping individuals unlearn the beliefs, behaviors, and habits that have shielded him from discovering the divine genius. And he's also got a new book called Divine Genius, The Unlearning Curve. And this gentleman shares 13 universal wisdom techniques and the genius process that led to his transformation, discovery, and the extraordinary journey. And he also begins to bring a deeply spiritual and more authentic and natural approach, and also dedicated to a number of causes. And also, he's also founder and CEO of Genius Studio, the creator of Genius Process. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios somewhere in beautiful sunny California, the very multi-talented author, speaker, futurist, social architect, and major influencer, the very talented Adam Hall. Adam, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Mike. It's great to be here with you. We're off to a good start. I'm tuning into everything slide off your tongue. You are a master of the word and sharing, and I look forward to seeing where that's going to take us today. I'm kind of curious, actually.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I'm curious to find out what you've got. So I guess curiosity versus curiosity, I guess going at it, they can either join, they can fight, or, I guess I say curiosity can either kill a cat or simply encourage a cat in your case. So if you can, encourage anything, you can encourage a cat instead of killing it. So I'll talk more about that.
Well, that's exactly right. We're not doing any killing. I used to do that when I was an Earth Conqueror, not killing anything, but really simply showing up to conquer the Earth. And that's kind of what we've been doing. We've kind of been killing the planet in the meantime, but that's too serious, and life's way too important to be so serious. So let's see what we want to have fun with. But curiosity, I mean, my God, what did we do as human beings without curiosity? We just kind of be lumps on the log. We just live kind of a very static lifestyle. And, curiosity is what really got me. If a hook, hooks the fish, curiosity was the hook, and it hooked me to go like, what the F is this life all about? and really just led me on this quest that I call a vision quest that we do in the Native American traditions, quest for the grail. So the curiosity is what brings it alive for me. And I think we're a lot of us, tell me what you think. I think a lot of us are curious, like, what the hell's going on and where the heck are we going? And what are we going to do about this kind of crazy world that we're living in? I don't know what there's some big questions out there, but curiosity is a good one to explore.
And also too, some questions that also come up as well too, especially in social media. What am I doing here? Why am I here? What's my purpose? And of course, some people will go and say, what's in it for me? It's like you see all these questions all the time. And of course, let's try to reverse it and figure out, okay, what am I doing here? Why am I here? And, what's my purpose? So, perhaps that can all be answered as well too. And of course, the what's in it for me, it's like you often get as a rebuttal, but basically it's like, what is in it for you? Curiosity. And, basically just, we are on earth for a reason, some conquer, some just keep. And of course, you make such a great transition from earth conqueror to earth keeper, which is amazing.
Well, it's interesting because it was the dog eat dog world, winners or losers, get out of my effing way. I don't care who you are, that kind of typical narcissistic lifestyle that seemingly doesn't have any compassion or kindness or much less empathy for anything. And you really bring up a good point that kind of took me from Earth Conqueror to Earth Keeper. And that is this idea of putting energy or thought into ourselves. There's nothing narcissistic about tending to our lives and asking the questions of, the bigger questions that want to make our lives more fulfilling. I heard something interesting, like, there's all this kind of emerging things coming out of this COVID period, everything, who knows what's freaking true. But it was one of the things that we do know is there's a data point around people leaving their work in droves. Doesn't matter how much money they're even making. They're not going to just show up and be miserable anymore. And so these are times to be curious. These are times to shift away into maybe putting attention instead of out there and then, the media out there, the social media out there, the politics out there. Everybody's got something to say. Everybody's an expert about everything, and put some attention on ourselves. I mean, for God's sake, wouldn't it be nice to have a greater sense of fulfillment in your life? Wouldn't it be nice to have some peace and maybe laugh a little? Shit, just get like, oh, that's a rarity. We can laugh still, right? It still happens.
Yeah, and of course, we do need more comedy as well, too. And you hardly ever see that like on TV these days. And the comedians basically are too afraid to go out to colleges and universities, fearing they're going to get sued or, booed off the stage, whatever it is. It's like, we need to have more comedy out there, more laughter. I mean, we really need that. Seriously. I think we should take our comedy. Yes.
I love you. I love what you're saying. And, I don't follow the comedy circuit, but a good friend of mine from college, from Berkeley, a good buddy of mine represents them. He's at CA. He's an agent for all these, these up and comers and these well-known people and all this. What's going on out there? What are they talking about? And, there's still a lot of dark humor out there. And, I don't have anything against dark humor. I mean, hey, we can get all the dark you want, but hey, what about some light stuff?
Exactly.
What about some stuff that says, hey, we can laugh at ourselves, if we think we're kind of woo-woo or we like, oh, that guy's kind of mystical, he looks like his head's twisted or something, let's get into some of the fun, lighter stuff too. But it's an interesting time, isn't it? Don't you think there's a lot of shift happening in our culture? I mean, this gender thing, I'm curious, he and she, and, there's androgyny, so we got a lot of movement across all of our generations, and it's going to be really interesting if you ask me. What do you think?
I think it's rather interesting as well too, basically that, with my experience, I told you off the air as well too, that I've been doing this since 1982. And, I can relate to the people out there who are just like, borderline baby boomers, Generation X. And, I kind of look at it's like, am I really a baby boomer or the beginning of Generation X? And just kind of think about that. It's like, there's like this huge mindset that, hey, we want to keep things. But then it's like some people like, hey, let's change it up a little bit, spice it up. And I think that's where the conflict really comes in. It's like, the people want to keep things. And there's like another group that, hey, let's try to improve it. It's stagnant. And there's basically just a war going on. And you're right. We do need to laugh ourselves from time to time. Monty Python, basically just had this idea of it's okay to make fun of yourselves. You can make fun of everybody. It's all comedy. I mean, we do need that. Make fun of ourselves. I mean, I should do that more often.
Well, I do appreciate your funny man in you. And I think, that's a key thing, but you're spot on. There is this kind of unseen war, and it's kind of, it's heating up. If you ask me, I think there's going to be a lot more intensity kind of as we roll into the next few years. And, it's not like a cataclysmic thing, but there's going to be some great intensity. And a lot of us are just checking out. I mean, like, who needs all this shit? And some people just, it's such self-righteousness, my way, your way. Everybody's got the opinion, as I was sharing. So it's time, that these two bulls or whatever they are, or, however they're butting heads, say, hey, wait a minute, we got to tackle some big shit out there. We got to make this world a better place for our children and their children. And that's the kind of thing I'm doing now. And I'm really focused on creating better humans, up-leveling how we live our lives to really find the humor in it. When you can make something that is ostensibly true, laugh, and you can laugh and go, oh, I can really laugh. I mean, I had to laugh at myself the other day when I was out on a lake, and I took this gorgeous gal out not too long ago, and we were out on a lake up in the mountains, and she said, oh, it's time to come in. We got to get in, everybody's closing. You got to have your boat back. And so I pulled up the anchor and I began to motor back in, and I get coming back into the harbor, and oh shit, why is the engine going, but the boat going nowhere? Well, I only pulled up one of the anchors. There was another one, and I seemed to get myself stranded, hooked on the bottom. Yeah. And I mean, it was amazing because everybody else on the lake was trying to get back in the harbor at the same time, but my boat was blocking all the other ones, and they were all backed up. They were all backed up trying to get into the harbor. And here it is. I thought, I was like, oh, this is amazing. Out on the lake, having fun, dragging my own anchor behind. So we need to pick up our anchors and maybe shift locations and shift the way we think even. Let's not drag ourselves in the old way and get hooked on the bottom of something that maybe doesn't feel so good.
And I think you really hit a point too. Sometimes we get weighed in our own anchors, like in our own lives. And also the thing I'm noticing is that there's a lot of people that are in need of common ground. And back in the day where it's like, we grew up as kids, kindergarten, first grade. Hey, you like this? I like that. Your favorite color is blue? Mine too. You like chocolate ice cream? Yeah, my favorite. Or say, you like the Dodgers? I like the Dodgers. A friendship was formed. It's like sometimes you wonder what happened to that type of common ground, like you see all over the place. It's like there's need to be more focus. I think it's like, what happened to favorite color, favorite pet, where you grew up, what do you like in your pizza and all that. It's like that seems to be missing.
Well, that's so simple. It's complex. And the human mind, we want complexity. It's got to be really, we have to think it, we got to this, and then we're not even supposed to understand it and feel it or feel good about it. And what you just put forward, that's great wisdom. I mean, seriously, because the magic of that interconnectivity of, well, like you presenced around being a child, how is it that we're relating to each other in a more let's just say innocent way, but a more whimsical way, a more of a curious way, versus like going, oh, that person is, looks like this, or is wearing that, or is espousing this. In other words, we go to the differences first. Versus the commonalities. And this is the beauty of when I wrote the Divine Genius, the Unlearning Curve, is the Unlearning Curve piece is about unlearning that thinking that is all about differences. And it's really what's there innately in us, Mike, is that place within us that is we see and experience the commonalities
Mm-hmm.
And respect people for their difference. That's fine that they're, if they want to wear their hair that way, or they want to wear this outfit or talk about some trash or whatever they do, that's their business. That's not mine. I'm not going to judge them, but I see a place where I can connect with them. Like, I don't even know you. I just connecting here on this great show you've been doing. And, it only took me about a minute to feel some commonality with you. And I appreciate that. So thank you, Mike, for
Mm-hmm.
inviting me today and exploring all this craziness and this fun stuff too.
Well, there's more. Well, there's more to come as well too. We'll talk about the book, but first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com. I'll be quick. Powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Link and professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books. Remembering is a key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at a wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs, huh? You remember Grandma's meatballs? I certainly do. And the holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift for remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever gift for Grandma's recipes, or just because, those smiles and tears, they'll just melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw, Picture This Photo Books, at 646-798-0809, or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books. Bring your memories back to life. The whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com and over 30 podcast platforms. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today, and check out the great merchandise at the MikeWagnerShow.com and also on Amazon. And check out the great books by Mia Molson-Zia and more at Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great merchandise and more. And support us on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you donate today because we work hard just for you. We're here with author, speaker, futurist, and the amazing Adam Hall here on the Mike Wagner Show with his book, Divine Genius, The Unlearning Curve. And I guess we just kind of ask you about, it's like, how'd you manage to come up with that name?
Well, I love that question because, what I found kind of growing up in a Christian family and going to the Protestant church, and ultimately finding a little bit of revulsion to the whole idea of religiosity, and the idea that we have this mind that is separate from the totality of our experience. Now, some say, well, we're not separate from anything, which is true. We are really connected with ourselves, with each other, like we were just talking about commonality. We're talking about how we can interface directly with this greater quantum field. And this is woo-woo stuff. New science is proving that our connection to this quantum field. And when we start to think about this idea of interconnection, we begin to think, wow, this is an amazing world. It's an intelligent world, notwithstanding the fact that sometimes we elect very unintelligent people that are seemingly stuck in their own narcissism, like, in my opinion, just about all of them. And
or who try to rule social media, like who on Facebook, that starts with it's the Z word, as in Zuck.
Exactly. And so the Divine Genius, I came up with that name because every single one of us is a genius. And this is what we seemingly forget. And what do I mean by that? We think of Einstein, we think of Tesla, think of all these amazing people. And of course, our cognitive science referred to, geniuses as somebody who has certain types of, high IQ tests. Well, that's just the same old BS that's out there that wants to keep us in a limiting beliefs. But our genius is something, a gift that each of us has, a gift that each of us is born with. Whether we've developed it or not, that's another story. But the point really is that a genius resides within all of us, because this is an amazing machine, this human body. Think about the operating system going on right in here, and our ability to rewire our brains, rethink, be in our hearts, being connected to our soul, being connected to each other. It's quite genius, isn't it? It really is.
Definitely. It's like I'm feeling the genius right now talking to you. It's just like, you're stuck in your ways. You're at work, you go through the same routine. And of course, you go pay your bills, you do the same routine. Everything's the same routine. I think some people are just simply afraid of change. And how can you get people to overcome this stagnant, the rut, and getting people to change without making people feel like uncomfortable? I'm sure people out there is like, I don't want to change. They're like, how can you get them to change, like, a smooth transition and
well, Mike, right, this is the question right now more than ever, because we're going through a period of time what our ecological scientists call a punctuated point in evolution, where the rate of change is happening in a very short period of time. And the result of that, according to the World Wildlife Federation, is we've lost 68% of our biodiversity. That's serious. Could you imagine if you had a garden, you're growing fruit, and 68% of it basically is wiped out? That's an oversimplification. But this is serious business. So the idea is it's the imperative of this time is not just because of COVID and more, weird shit that's coming down the line. We know that the world is going to continue to have its greater challenges, but we have the power within ourselves to meet that change. And we have the choice to do that. And in the Divine Genius, the Unlearning Curve, I put forth a process called the Genius process that allows us to let go of those mindset that keeps us stuck and keeps us going back to the same bowl of cherries that are no longer cherries. It keeps us going back to the same dysfunctional relationships. It keeps us not feeling good, kind of in a state of disease, dis-ease and disease, which is really just nothing more than a state of death. And I don't mean to be blunt about it, but I can say right now, this is our moment. We can really step in and make a new choice. We can really step up and let go of the old shit, that old ego mindset that says, I can't do it. I feel too much shame. I'm not worthy. I have nothing to add. I'm just going to stay here in my own cocoon or whatever it is. That's not going to work, folks. These are new times. It requires bold action. And I'm here to talk about it with Mike Wagner today.
And of course, you also share 13 universal wisdom teachings and the genius process. Maybe just hit upon a few of those as well, too. Maybe look at some people unstuck who are currently listening right now.
Well, I'm going to just hit right upon the one that if you don't hear anything else in all this conversation today is the one, this is the one you should hear. And what we get stuck in is the past. Mike, the human conditioning lives in the future's past. In other words, our behaviors, beliefs, traumas, and upbringing in our lives, both from our family and our parents and our community and our siblings and our work, they seemingly guide our every decision as we go forward throughout our lives. And for all you folks that are on the younger scale here of things, be on guard with this. Be aware of this. Pay attention to things that you are doing habitually that no longer serve you. Now that applies to everybody. I was 42 when I began to say, you know what, I'm not going to live in my future's past. I had achieved a lot of success, I'm living really the ultimate life with beautiful family and work, but ultimately I was living in the past. So I wanted to really step more into what's exciting going forward, what's really radically new going forward. This is what longevity is about. This is what laughter is about. It's new in the moment. It can be like a little bit of a firecracker when it goes off, but it's like, oh, I love that. So the idea here of this first wisdom teaching is about forgiveness. because we live in this stuck place of people in our lives thinking that we're simply victims. We give away our power to the person that yelled at us. We give away our power to the boss that's oppressive and just not doesn't smell that good.
Oh, I
We
know what you mean.
so this idea of forgiveness is really important because we think of forgiveness. It's like, oh, I forgive that jerk, or I forgive that person, or I and what we forget to do is really quite simple. In that forgiveness that we know, we're judging. We're the judge and we're the jury, and we are deciding that the other person is a miserable slouch or whatever they are. And we say, oh, I'm going to forgive them. But the fact of the matter is that doesn't cut it. We continue to live with the energy of the moment. So here's an idea real quick. Here's an idea.
Oh no, we're just simply saying the fact that it's more than the forgiveness thing. There's more and more and more. And this is really interesting. And I think about the boss as well too. I forgive you. You're fired.
Yeah, exactly. And that forgiveness process, hey, doesn't work. So the thing about forgiveness that I share in wisdom teaching number 1, true forgiveness, is that we forgive ourselves and other people, not for what happened, not for what we did, but for what we did not do. And what we did not do is a simple error that every single human makes. And that error is we forgot, wait a second, that person is a human. I'm a human. I forgot that I forgot my connection to him. I forgot that I am a good person. I forgot that I can really help and have compassion and kindness for people. So when we start to begin there, everything about an instant begins to fall away. And when it falls away, it's no longer that proverbial tail of the dog, wagging that dog around. And now you're freed into a life you want to live.
And of course, yes, you can teach an old dog new tricks. You heard it right here from Adam Hall.
That's exactly right. We love that old cliche because, I'm not as young as I used to be. And, there's no time, like the moment, and to strike on, stepping up for your health and your wellness and your laughter and your joy and your fulfillment. And that just begins by taking that step of letting all that old shit die away, taking a look at it, unlearning that mindset and those thought systems that keep us habitually locked in a place of misery or pain. And we don't want to have pain or a terrible event happen to you to make you want to change. And that's unfortunately what happens to most people. It happened to me. I needed some pain. I needed some stress, and, not to get off on all that stuff, but don't wait until something hits that forces you to do something when you can choose to do what you must do now to get out of this lifetime alive right now, to live more fully in our joy.
And of course, I was just thinking about that with getting out alive and more joy, more fulfillment experience. Your journey from Santa Barbara to Peru, that sounds fascinating. It's like, I'm thinking to myself, I need to go from Bismarck to Peru one day, but you got a journey from Santa Barbara to Peru, and tell us more about that.
Well, it's like if we're sitting in the same room all the time, looking at the same stuff, what are we really, or especially looking at the same TV, or the same media? And, in one sense, it's changes all the time, but in another sense, it's just kind of the same old noise, don't you think? It's like, just like, what is all this noise and this stuff? And everybody's trying to show up and be seen and be right and have the truth. None of us have that. We're all the same. And the idea really is to get out of that comfort zone. All right. To get off the couch, get out of the routine, mix it up. Because when I began to mix it up in that travel from Santa Barbara to Peru and other places in the world, that made the changes. Now, not everybody can get up and go to Peru or go to these places, but you can sure as heck get in your car or take a bus or go somewhere to go out in nature or visit a community off in the distance or go up in the mountains or whatever you want to do to just find yourself having a new experience, because new experience creates an opening in our mind to say, you know what? I need to let go of some old experiences so I can even have some more newer experiences. Think about relationships. I mean, if we're bogged down in our own type of relationship, or we had something that was very harmful or hurtful and it didn't work out, and then we're still carrying that around, we're holding on to that pain. How can you expect to have a new relationship? You
Good point.
can't. It just doesn't happen.
That is rather fascinating. And I think more about it that, how the show started is that it just took a trip to South Dakota, just to start the show. And of course, your case as well, too, that you were going from Santa Barbara to Peru to simply open up as well, too. And also the fact that, I'm just thinking as well too that let's see, I'm just trying to look here, and you also have also a brand new challenge, being the creator of the Genius Studio.
Well, I see it, Mike, is not as a challenge, but I see it as a curiosity. Like, what can we discover in our own Genius Studio? Everybody has this idea of genius that we're talking about. So I created like essentially like a living life experience, and it's a studio, and I have that here in Santa Barbara, but it's also a place of engaging not only our work, but our place of play. In other words, if we can come to work with a little more play, if we can come to work with a little more creativity by asking those curious questions, if we can come to work and let die away those old stories and those old things and just say, what is new to what should I discover that's new today? Hey, the person down at the market may show up and offer you something kind of funny. The person down at the market might show up and say, hey, nice to see you here. I'm glad you have your mask on because your eyes are kind of nice too.
Yes.
So there's a
Focus
lot
on
of
the
things
eyes.
going on.
I didn't think about that. So, like, people look at the mouth, people look at the nose. I put on the mask and says, hey, I love your eyes. I think that's getting more attention nowadays. That should probably make more eye contact than anything else. I did not think about that. So, yeah, can you see what I'm saying right now? Put on the mask. So,
Well, that's one of the unseen benefits, of having to wear a mask, is that we get to spend time focusing on people in the eyes. And then obviously it's very revealing, because then when people are looking away or they're looking over there, that means they're not paying attention. That means they're uncomfortable in their own skin. That means they lack confidence. And we invite them to come into a presence and a stillness of connection with one another. I mean, is this not a time to kind of calibrate our connection with the planet and with each other, and to kind of renew these parts of our lives that seemingly are getting lost in this phone thing and this world of interwiring. There's so much more to life. And, you and I were really blessed. I don't know if I think you would probably agree that we grew up in a time that necessarily didn't have all that. It's like, hey, we can really say, hi, how are you? What, be unabandoned, so to speak. You know what I mean?
You know something too. I was having a discussion with a person about like the office space, the required office space. Of course, you got the computer, you got a laptop, you got your internet, your phone, and your printer, everything else. And I thought about the days where I practiced, working in an office. My dad was a regional manager for Mobile Oil, and sometimes I'll go with him, and it's just like a basic steel desk. You have a coffee pot, you have a lamp, you got a phone, you got a pen, pencil, and some paper. You got a stapler. And of course, I think you've got a fan. And of course, if you're in the medium, you got a TV in front of you. And you also got an old-fashioned AM radio, which is wood. And of course, you picked up your favorite AM station, then later became FM. And of course, you had a newspaper, to look up the news or something to read. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be nice to go back in a simpler time, just have a regular desk, or just a landline telephone, like a rotary dial. Remember those? I used to pick those up and just have fun with those. Just spin like that. So,
I
stuff
saw
like
one
that.
of those the other day. I actually picked it up and was trying to see if I could get connected, but no, I was disconnected.
Oh, really? What'd you do? You dial zero and it wasn't a robot or something, or what?
Speaking of robots, actually, on my way over to have this call with you, I had one of those robocalls. Are you getting those robocalls?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's like it's coming from an area code. It's like all these area codes and it says spam risk. And I look, I'm like, okay, how'd you get my number? What do you want? And everything else. And I said, no, I don't want to extend a car warranty. Thank you.
Well, I had one today, and this one didn't say spam risk. They're coming in spade. They're coming like more. They're coming like an onslaught, like a wave, like the locust.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
coming in. They're just ready to devour. And I had one driving back, and I figured, oh, I don't, maybe that was you or somebody calling. I didn't know, so I picked it up and I go, could you hold on the line 1 minute? This is the U.S. Border Control calling you, and we have found that you were carrying drugs in a shipment that was coming to your address. Please push 1 to find out more. So of course, I push 1, and the guy picks up the phone. I said, "Oh my God, this is Adam, and I made a terrible mistake, and I was shipping this pound of cocaine back from Peru, and I thought, I didn't think anything of it. Will you please forgive me?" Guy says, "Well, that'll be $500, please. Can you send us that right now?"
Click.
Click. He hung up. I didn't hang up. It's like, okay, so the world is full of a lot of, jokers that are not such, kind jokers.
Mhm.
And obviously we're offering us an opportunity to, keep our lives simple, yet at the same time, stay in the modern world of all the things that are happening, because I appreciate the simplicity. I consider myself kind of a minimalist these days.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of our younger generations are much more minimalistic oriented, although they are obviously wired, and the world is a wired world. So I like your thoughts and your ideas about simplifying our lives and ourselves, and kind of remembering, really that piece of ourselves that it's nice to be connected with somebody. It's nice to see your eyes. Yeah, of course, I love the smile too, but to be kind of that way. And certain things will always be, and then other things, as we know, are rapidly changing and shedding. And the revolution, be it a technology revolution, Mike, or a biological revolution, this AI revolution, this is going to be some wild and crazy shit, but it's going to be a time to sit back and enjoy it. And I'm offering for people, be prepared. And that's the whole purpose of the Divine Genius, the Unlearning Curve, is to prepare yourself not only to live fully and to live safely, but to live your life as you want it, not how a machine or some software program wants you to.
Or even society or Facebook or any social media telling you
Totally.
how to think, what to think, and everything else too. And I think you're right. So it's like it's basically up to us to change. And that's a great book, Divine Genius, the Unlearning Curve, and also I also like your first book as well too, The Earth Keeper on Developing the Future. And also, where can we find those books at, including your Divine Genius, the Unlearning Curve at?
Well, those are all on Amazon worldwide. It's real simple to go on to Amazon and get Divine Genius, The Unlearning Curve by Adam C. Hall. Happy to share that with you. And also just happy to invite you. I'd love to, feel free to just come to my website, adamhall.solutions, www.adamhall.solutions. And I got some cool stuff on there. One thing I'm giving away is this little book of genius. It's a little book. It's kind of a pocket-sized book, but that's a hard copy. But I'm giving it away in an e-book format, so you can just put your name in. I'll send it to you, and it's all about abundance. I mean, if you think about it, we live in a scarcity mindset.
Yes.
This idea of lack. This little book gives some secrets and some insights to manifesting and living your abundant nature as a genius. So you can check it out on www.adamhall.solutions. Get your ebook, or go to Amazon, check out my books. Appreciate all the support. And also you can feel free to reach out with me. I'm requesting emails and connection forms that are joyful. And so we do not accept any negativity. Although if you want to espouse that, you can do so before the beep.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. It's like, I think I saw this on Facebook. It's like, it's not my monkeys, it's not my circus. So you take it somewhere else. So that's how I look at it. So, yes.
Absolutely. And what are you up to next? Are you just continuing the show, or what's
But
super alive with
Wait,
you right now,
wait,
Mike?
we know something. That's a very good question. I like to find out what you got coming up. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor, the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's The Missing, available on Amazon in paperback, in ebook, and also brought to you by Picture This Photo Books. Remembering is the key ingredient. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit PictureThisPhotoBooks.com. We'll be back with author, speaker, and the amazing Adam Hall of Divine Genius-The Unlearning Curve after this time out. We're back with author, speaker, and futurist Adam Hall of Divine Genius, The Unlearning Curve on the Mike Wagner Show. Just some great wisdom, Adam, and had a lot of fun talking to you. We got to do this again. I mean, just great curiosity. I really enjoyed it. But first of all, what can we expect from you, and what else in 2021 and beyond, Adam?
Well, these are exciting times, and I've committed myself to show up fully and the best I can, putting my best foot forward, my heart forward, and bringing and offering really things that are going to lift us, not versus motivate us. We can talk a lot about crazy shit and climate and all the COVID and all this stuff, but the power is within ourselves. So I'm out a bit on I'd say the digital world tour. Obviously doing a lot of shows right now, but on October 16th, the week of October 16th, I want to invite everybody to be part of a worldwide global event. I'm one of 5 co-hosts there, and that global event is going to be found. You can find it at humanitiesteam.org, humanitiesteam.org. It's called Global Oneness Week, and we've got guests like Lynn McTaggart, Bruce Lipton, Alberto Villaldo. We have people that are leading the edge in consciousness. They're leading edge thinkers in new science, new medicine, regenerative medicine. And it's not just a bunch of spiritual stuff. It's about how to up-level our lives. And so I'm talking to a lot of exciting people, including Paul Hawken, who has a new book out called Regeneration. He's one of the foremost environmentalists leading the way for what we're doing next, kind of how we're building our business. So that's happening. Then I got another summit that I'm going to reveal something that is really made a world of difference in my life and the people that I have been talking to and sharing it with. And these 5 symbols that actually, when you roll them a bit like you roll a dice, you realize your genius. It reveals your genius right on the spot. And I'm doing that at the Earthkeeper Summit, December 21st. The Earthkeeper Summit, December 21st. We'll be hearing more about that going forward, but I'm going to do something a lot of fun. So it's going to be a very exciting fall. And in the meantime, I'm going to remember to take a moment and smell the roses and enjoy life and have fun. But lots of fun happening, lots of good work, and I invite everybody to join in this party.
Oh my gosh, you are so amazing, Adam. I'm smelling roses right now. And when you talk about the dice, maybe in heaven in Las Vegas, you roll the dice and say snake eyes or lucky 7. So.
Yeah, exactly. But this one's different. This is your lucky turn of those roll of those dice, because when it reveals something that we're not aware of, and it's something like your genius, then all of a sudden it's like an updraft of wind that lifts us beyond the existing paradigm of our life, the existing mundane structures, and lifts us more into, okay, I get it. I've got some game. I have some purpose, mission. I'm here to fulfill a cause. I can create abundance in my life, and I'll be damned, I can be joyful, because joy is my job and it's everybody's job. Let's not forget it.
And you've done a great job as well, too, Adam. And who do you consider your biggest influence in your career?
Well, that's a tough one for me, because early, there's kind of 2 parts to my life. There's Adam 1.0 and there's Adam 2.0.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And soon to be 3.0, folks.
well, right now this is as far as I am, and this is what I know. But in the first part of of the early days in my life, I was greatly influenced by a man that began to make a big difference in the world as a revolutionary, and that was Gandhi.
Mm.
And that's really tied with Martin Luther King. So I was really inspired by these voices that were willing to face all odds, to show up in their world in a very hotbed of energy, and give voice to the heart of the people, to people's heart and soul. So those were my primary influences early on. The latest one has really been in the last, 18 years. There's been quite a few, but there was a mystic named Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo. And Sri Aurobindo was a man that spoke of the divine life. In other words, why are we living a life of which is creating chaos and misery, this typical hell kind of on earth, stuck in religion and dogma and all this crap? But Sri Aurobindo really offered a lot of wisdom and teachings about the divine life, and they're very influential in the divine genius as well. So these are great leaders, both spiritual leaders, political leaders, that are giving voice to that which has not been given voice, and that place within each of us that is yet to maybe be heard or shared, that gift, that genius that is yet to be heard or shared or expressed. It's our time. Your story, your gift is really important. Great to be here to flow with you, and look forward to a little bit more.
Definitely wills do, and look forward to having it as well too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point, Adam?
Believe. We live in an incredible time that is not simply about hope. This is a time of trust. This is a time of great opportunity. The challenges are vast, but the opportunities are greater. The data and things that are happening on our planet seem very daunting and very troubling. But guess what? Guess what, my friends, my brothers and sisters? We get to decide the outcome. Together, we get to write that new story. Believe in it. I believe in you. I love being here with you. Look forward to more soon.
Yes, definitely so. And that's got to be a priority as well. Once again, Adam Hall, author, speaker, and futurist of the book Divine Genius, The Unlearning Curve on the Mike Widener Show. Adam, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again very soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back in 2021 and beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your books, including Divine Genius, The Unlearning Curve?
Thank you so much. Be well, be safe. Enjoy, everybody.
And website again?
www.adamhall.solutions. That's where you can get all the resources you need. They're there for yours, for the taking. Enjoy them. Connect. It's again at www.adamhall.solutions. And you can find Divine Genius, The Unlearning Curve on Amazon worldwide. Thank you, everybody.
We certainly will do so. Once again, Adam, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep yourself today, and let's do it again. You've been absolutely terrific.
Thank you, Mike.